Roy, so we're on this video just to quickly run through a little bit of your history. And obviously, we spoke in previous calls, we spoke about where you started, and you started out with Forex, and now you're full time crypto trading and you've got your education. I think it would be good for the viewers just to hear exactly where you started out and why you made that transition from Forex to crypto. Obviously, you started out as a Forex trader and then you decided over time that crypto is your only focus. I think it's going to be very interesting to hear why you made that transition from Forex to crypto.
Right, right. Yeah, it's an interesting point, to be honest. Takes me a while back to the beginning, right? Because it's very easy to get into the Forex market. Forex market threshold for entry is very low.
Mm.
So it's like almost like, you know, the first thing you gravitate towards when you try to become a trader.
Mm.
And you got all these brokers offering you you can open an account with like $100, right? Like $50 even.
Yeah.
So it's a very, yeah, it's a very low threshold entry, um, and that's where most traders start. I would say
Yeah.
it's a kind of an easy start, but it's also kind of um, deceptive because you're getting into the hardest market for actually as you know, if you want to succeed.
Yeah.
It's probably the toughest market to work with, but you don't get it at the beginning, right? So, I compare the Forex market to the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
It's just heavily manipulated. Um, and also, I mean, not just manipulated by the banks, because at the end of the day, it's a centralized market. So it's controlled by the central banks, and they do manipulate it.
Yeah.
And they're also doing some, I believe, they're doing some other stuff. Let's put it this way, such as stop hunting, right? Stuff like that. But also, like the nature of the market. The nature of the market is a zero sum game,
Yeah.
and it took me a few years to realize that, which means it's a balance of power between two economies.
Yeah.
But what happens is it basically become rangy. So the forex market is just ranging inside a defined range, right?
Yeah.
So it's very different from, let's say, the stock market, for example. Because if you take the stock market, like you said, let's take Dow Jones, for example. If you
Yeah.
extrapolate 100 years back, then you see that over 100 years, it keeps coming up,
Yeah.
right? It goes up for a few good years, for a decade or so. Then there's a correction, there's some crisis, there's something, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a correction, but then price action will start climbing back up to all-time high, and it will remain. This cyclical movement will remain. If you take 100 years, you can see the market's always growing.
Yeah.
Companies always get more efficient. There's always more money, innovations, technology. So the market's always growing. So it's always up for one direction, which is up.
Yeah.
Two-thirds of the time
Yeah.
it's going up, one-third of the time it's going down. There's some order that I can subscribe to.
Yeah.
Forex market is more like I said, wild wild west, right? It's up, it's down, it has no order to it.
Yeah.
So it makes it much harder to actually break it, to actually make it. It took me a decade to realize that. Although I did improve over time, there is an improvement growth curve,
Yeah.
right? If you're consistent. But I really couldn't get to the point where I was able to leave off trading the forex market. I couldn't get to that point. I
Yeah.
was mostly getting to the point where I got break even,
Yeah.
losing a little bit, winning a little bit, stopped losing. It took me a few good years to just stop losing, right?
Yeah.
But again, I want to make a living off of it. So forex market was not the answer, even though I kept trying. the crypto market emerged around 2016, 2017, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, it started before, but before the Bitcoin really hit the $10,000 mark, I think it was off mainstream.
Yeah.
Once it hit that $10,000 mark, it became mainstream, and that's where pretty much I started to get myself interested. Started to track the crypto market and started to trade actively in 2017. So that's like 7 years ago,
Yeah.
right? So and then I just kept running both markets separately.
Yes.
Like I would have an account in the crypto market, trading it, have an account in the forex market, trading it, right? And then I started to see the differences. They they were clear, as clear
Yeah.
as the sun. Like there was no question about it. I was really getting ahead with the cryptocurrency market and actually making it
Yeah.
really well performance wise, and started to be able to leave off the trading that I was doing in cryptocurrency market, where I was still stagnant
Yeah.
in the forex market, still trying to break it, couldn't make it, and then it became clear to me that those two markets are very different
Different.
in their nature,
Mm.
in their core. Where the crypto market has that order that the stock market has.
Yeah.
It's a market. It even has more upside potential because it's in its infancy. It's just coming along. It's just now it's breaking through. It's a baby.
Yeah.
So again, 2/3 of the time it will go up. This the market's always it's growing right now. The
Yeah.
Bitcoin just hit 110,000, right? So it's going up hard, but it's also correcting hard. But it has this order to it.
Yeah.
It's also decentralized, so it's almost I would say it's manipulated proof. Like
Yeah.
there's no big actors that can do whatever they want because the market is in the people's hands. Sure, there are the big whales that pump money into the market, but I see that as a legitimate activity as
Yeah.
opposed to a bank that's watching stop loss levels of 100,000 traders, and he sends a vicious spike,
Yeah.
the manipulating price to hunt those stop loss levels. That's how I see the
Yeah.
difference. So it's very hard to manipulate the cryptocurrency market. It's decentralized, and I just find it easier to analyze, easier to read, easier to predict,
Yeah.
hence easier to make better
Gotcha.
performance.
What would you say to forex traders out there that are currently in that place where you were when like they make money, they lose money, they make money, they lose money, but they never get ahead like it's 6 months later and they're still breaking even? Where would you say they should start and how should they think if they want to go into a safer, more decentralized, clearer, and purer form of trading? How would you say they should approach that?
Well, it's first of all, it has to be coming from the strategy standpoint. You still have to have a solid strategy,
Hmm.
a solid trading system. I think a good start would be to stop losing
Yeah.
consistently in the forex market. If you stop losing consistently in the forex market and you start to break even with the market, that's a very good sign.
Mm.
So yeah, I will start with that, right? Having a solid strategy, having a solid trading system that
Yep.
is time tested and can produce. But yeah, taking it out from the forex market at some point and transition into the cryptocurrency market would probably be very beneficial to everyone that has a good strategy.
So you would say the same strategies that apply on Forex is the same strategies that will apply on the crypto market as well. Same.
Exactly,
Cool.
exactly.
I've got you. Thank you so much, Roy. Thank you for this informative information. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My
And
pleasure,
we
man.
will be doing more of these type of videos in the coming weeks and give some more information on why crypto is clearer, what you are busy with, what you are busy building, and to get more people to the attention that crypto deserves.
Yeah, I agree, and looking forward.
Cool stuff, Roy.
Definitely.
See
All
you in the
right.
next
Take
video.
care, my friend.
Cheers.
Cheers.